Run the triangle.com, baby. We holding it down for Inglewood and the NBA. We got you, LA. I was reading an article in Slam magazine, I think you did back in 2010. You were talking about you got pimped.
Right.
You break down that pimping. How are you being pimped in the game, and how you help try to empower the next generation to avoid that?
I was a poster child for a particular sneaker company, and what happened was I would receive pretty much everything that they made, all the latest stuff, and I would play well and look even better, and it helped drive sales. I know it did. And I wasn't receiving any compensation. I just got the product, and everybody thought I was getting paid because it seemed like I had a contract with that particular sponsorship, like an NBA player at that time. I mean, I was before my time when I think about it now, because there was nobody around that was doing what I was doing. And coming up in LA, it's not a cakewalk. I mean, you got to deal with the drugs and the gang elements, and you know, people they take it lightly. They think it's fun and games. You see the sun, and you know, you see the palm trees, and they think it's all good. But it's a struggle, man. And you know, basketball became my safe haven, and I put everything I had into it. And today, it's a different deal. A lot of the kids today, it's a rerun that they're going through what I've already experienced. I was at probably the forefront of a lot of this on the West Coast with the AAU grassroots, with my team that I was playing with, SoCal All-Stars, which was formerly known PTI. So now it's important for me to give back the mentoring to the kids, like off the court, how you handle things, because you can be very good on the floor, but it's a lot of time you're going to spend off. And they're watching both sides of it. Right. If people are going to invest money in you and sponsor you and do things like that, you have to have a good name, you know, and your character and everything has to be intact. And a lot of it today is about integrity. I tell kids to just be a man of your word. Do things the right way. You know, you can get ahead doing things the right way. Sometimes it just takes a little longer, but you sleep better.
Right.
You know, you don't have to look over your shoulders and stuff like that and worried about, well, who do I owe? Who do I burn? You know, they coming for me, that type of thing. So just kind of instilling some of the values and experiences that I learned along the way back to not only the kids in our program, but kids that I may speak to, you know, across the country, day in and day out. Even adults. You know, a lot of times today, I think the difference is the parents are living vicariously through the kids. They're looking for that scholarship. They're looking for that contract. You know, they're looking for that bag of money because their kid has the talent.
Right.
So they live through them, and they support them in a way from a fan rather than as a parent. I think that's a problem with a lot of our kids. You know, there's a lack of respect. There's a sense of self-entitlement that needs to change. And when I played, I had to earn everything. You know, I came up in a different era. You talk about the 90s, it was tough. There wasn't as many teams.
Right.
This was before social media, you know, and I was on Sports Illustrated at the time I was 15 years old. So that's the pinnacle. So at that point, I was like, well, where do I go from here? So I just wanted to stay focused and constantly learn and evolve and just study the game. I watched countless hours of film. You know, I would read about different players from the past. I mean, I did my homework. I'm a historian as well. So I knew about the LA greats, Raymond Lewis, rest in peace. You know, guys like John Hoplite Williams played at Crenshaw. You know, Joy Johnson that was at Banning. I used to train with him in high school. I mean, his brother used to cut my hair, Steve Johnson. So, and I wound up playing for his brother Dennis, rest in peace, Dennis Johnson, who coached the Clippers. And that was my closest opportunity to make the NBA long term. I played well. I can remember he was in Summer League, and you know, he pulled me in after a game that I played pretty good against Seattle Supersonics and said that I hadn't had a chance. He likes my game. He knows I'm tough, athletic, those things. Just need an opportunity. And that if he was there, he was going to sign me. Well, the next day he was fired in Summer League. So sometimes things happen out of your control.
Right.
You got to make the most of what you get. And now I'm in a space now where I'm not even thinking about playing basketball anymore. I do it for fun. You know, I just enjoy being with our kids and playing the position that I'm in now. You know, I've accepted my role in life, and you know, the heartache is over. It was tough. I had to bury that hatchet, not making the NBA, being one of the top players to ever come out of this city, and them calling me a living legend, having to face myself every morning when I look in the mirror. That's a chore in itself. So. Right. I just enjoy the work that I do with the kids, and it takes me away from all the nonsense. You know, a lot of the adults got a lot of BS with them, and you know, the politics and favoritism and hanger-oners, leechers, you know, the agents, whatever it may be. I take all that out the equation. I deal with the youth, flower that seed, and watch it flourish.
Run the triangle, baby.